Well, Mortimer, it's an appalling fact, but last year in the United States alone, something like 35,000 to 40,000 separate titles were published. Now, what does a reader who wants to read well and truly and actively do with that enormous mass of reading matter?
And what does he do with the 8 million books on the shelves of the Harvard Library?
Yeah.
In fact, not only can he not read them all, he shouldn't read them all. Thomas Hobbes once said, "If I read as many books as most men do, I would be as dull-witted as they are."
Well, how many books can you read in a lifetime? I mean, read in the sense of read that we've been talking about here.
I would think in a lifetime considerably less than 500. Might even be as little as 200 or 300 books in a lifetime. Read well, read actively, read for the purpose of deepening one's understanding and lifting one's mind up to a higher level of insight and understanding.
Well, you've read more books than that, though, of course. You've read books at various levels of activity and intensity.
Well, as a matter of fact, I like to think of all the books in the world as forming a vast pyramid. Mm-hmm. At the baseline of that pyramid are the books that one doesn't have to read even once. One could scan them and put them aside. They are not, except perhaps for pleasure or to pass an idle hour, not worth reading once.
And what's the percentage? What percentage?
I would say
95%?
that's 95%.
Yeah.
Above the baseline is a second level of the pyramid. Are the books that are good enough, and there are good books but not great books, good books, good enough to read carefully just once. Mm-hmm. But if you went back to them, you'd find no reward in them at all. They wouldn't hold up. They would not lift your mind any further. They wouldn't reward you.
You would have gotten everything out of them the first time reading that they had to offer. Yeah.
At a level higher than that, a much smaller number of books, I would say now 2% of all the books that are written are worth reading more than once, 2 or 3 times perhaps. A second time, you would find other facets that you hadn't seen the first time.
And you would want to check your insights into the book the first time.
But perhaps not more than 2 or 3 times. And then, at the very apex of the pyramid, are the very small number of books, I would guess 100 or less, that would be worth, that are inexhaustible, in the sense that you could read them over and over and over again, any number of times in the course of one's life, always learning more.
Well, why is that? I mean, that's a strange thing to say, isn't it? That you can read a book over and over and over again without exhausting it. What is it what characteristic of the book allows that?
What I often have said about a great book is what makes that to be true, namely, that the book is over everybody's head all of the time.
Yeah.
So that it has enough power, so that no matter how often you come at it, there's more there to attract your mind and inform your mind. Mm-hmm.